We got a big weekend this weekend, Kyle. UFC 266 is coming up. I am super pumped for it. How did we do last weekend? Just to recap.
Okay, so Dana White Contender Series on Tuesday night, we went plus 7.7 units. We absolutely crushed it.
Excellent.
Just every read was right. We didn't get a single fight wrong. And then the UFC card, UFC Vegas 37, we absolutely crushed as well. We went plus 6.23 units on that card. Our two locks of the nights, Ian Kudalaba and Taffin Nizwicki, just crushed. They were the easiest bets ever.
Easiest. Yes.
Yeah, so we crushed UFC. Bellator, we lost 5 units, so we're up just about 9 units on the
Okay.
week. But our one Bellator loss that fucked us was a split decision loss, and we had 4 units riding on it. So
Okay.
without that split loss, we would have had a crazy weekend. Still, plus 9 units is
Plus
pretty.
9 units is nothing to sneeze at,
Yeah,
for sure.
right. Yeah,
For sure.
it's decent. It's decent.
Yes. And who got those picks first?
Everybody on the email list.
Everyone on the email list. And how do people join the email list?
So to join the email list, all you got to do is shoot me your email, however possible. If you want to leave that on our YouTube, if you want to DM that to
Yeah,
me
you
or
can you
Scott
can
on
you can
Twitter.
comment that below on this video. You can find us on Twitter. Kyle is at NeverHedge. I am at NVR Hedge Podcast, all one word. And we'll get you on the email list. You'll get all the fight notes, as well as early picks for UFC, college football, and NFL.
Yep.
All
All
right.
mixed martial arts, not just UFC too. We're
Yes, as
covering
well as
everything.
Bellator and PFL.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, we got a big card. Let's just jump right into it.
Let's jump
First
right in.
fight is Jonathan Pearce versus Omar Morales. Jonathan Pearce is plus 135 dog. He's 7,700 on DraftKings. Versus Omar Morales, who's minus 155 and 8,500 on DraftKings. Um, my first thoughts on this fight was that I love Omar Morales. Jonathan Pearce is one of those guys. He's coming off Dana White Contender Series.
Yep.
And when he got his first UFC fight, he got crushed by Joe Lozon.
Yep.
Absolutely savaged by Lozon. He followed that with a win over Kai Kamaka, who we know is fraudulent. He's just not that good.
Yep.
He looked pretty good, though, in that Kamaka fight. He overwhelmed him on the feet, eventually led to takedowns, and Pearce got the ground and pound victory. He's pretty tall for the weight class. He's 6 feet tall and has a 71.5-inch reach. But Omar Morales is also pretty tall. He's 5'11", has a 74-inch reach.
Yep.
Morales only has one loss, and that's to your boy Giga.
Giga, yeah, I was going to say, how well did that loss age?
Yeah, and he looked pretty good.
Yep.
He lost handedly to Giga,
Yeah.
but he was aggressive. He hit Giga a few times.
Yep.
Not many people have done that. He also has good wins over Shane Young and Gabriel Benitez. This is a fight where it's a step up for Pearce, a step down for Omar Morales. Morales is aging. He's a little bit older. I think he's 35, 36. But he's not over the hill just yet. He's
No.
massive for the weight division. I don't see Pearce being able to get those takedowns. I think this is an easy fight for Morales.
Yeah, same. This is one that Morales has to win.
He does have to win it, yes.
If he loses, it's going to be very detrimental to his career going forward.
Yep. But I think he wins it, and I think he
Yeah,
wins it pretty
same.
easy. Jonathan Pearce, I don't know if he's UFC caliber.
No. No chance.
Talking about not UFC caliber, let's go to our next fight.
Yes.
We have Matthew Semelsberger, minus 450, 9,400 on DraftKings, versus Martin Sano, plus 340, 6,800 on DraftKings. I'm not sure if you remember this, Scott, but Semelsberger tried out for the NFL.
I do remember that.
He went to Marist
Yep.
College. He played safety.
The old Red Foxes. White safeties. Not too many of those in the NFL, that's for sure.
And he had some good early wins. We won money on him when he KO'd Jason Witt.
Yep.
I'm not sure what side we were on with the Carlton Minus fight because we were big on Carlton Minus.
I think we had minus.
Yeah, we probably did. And then he lost his last fight to Chaos.
Yeah.
But he showed pretty good composure in that fight. Chaos hits very, very hard.
Yeah, he does.
And Semelsberger's got knockout power himself. He's primarily a stand-up guy. He said himself, his wrestling's just basically football instincts. He did wrestle in high school, but he said it was to stay in shape for football,
Right.
kind of like we did track.
Right. Just for fun.
But Semelsberger's a guy that I would like to fade. It's not here though. I don't
No.
know if you know anything about Martin Sano,
I don't.
because I did not. But I looked him up. He's 4-2, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and the UFC decided to
Yeah,
sign him.
this is definitely a setup fight for Semelsberger.
We like the guy who tried out for the NFL narrative.
Yeah, we think he's going to sell fights in the future, so we're going to
Yeah.
get him. We're going to get him a nice, easy win here after he got his ass kicked by Chaos.
Yeah, so not only did he lose his last two, but he lost his last fight by first round knockout, and that's what's going to happen here.
Yep.
I'd look for that prop. First round knockout, Semelsberger. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Easy.
Easy.
Next fight, not so easy. Carl Roberson, minus 125, 8,200 on DraftKings, versus Nick Maximov, plus 105, 8,000. Maximov, I'm not sure if you know who that is, Scott, but he is a Dana White Contender Series winner.
Yep. I did a little digging on him last night. He is a big-time grappler.
And he is boys with the Diaz brothers.
Yeah,
he
trains at Nick Diaz Academy.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of guys from Nick Diaz Academy on this card tonight too.
Yeah, 209 comes in groups.
Yep. Come in waves.
And funny enough, speaking of 209, Maximov took that Dana White Contender Series fight at heavyweight.
Right.
And he weighed in at 209.
209, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because of course he did.
Yeah.
He was 50 pounds lighter than his opponent, and he used grappling heavy style to win.
Out-wrestled him.
Yep.
Out-wrestled his opponent, giving up 50 pounds.
Yeah, he's now dropping down to a better weight class. This fight's taking place at 185.
Yep.
Because Roberson has fought at 205 before as well. Roberson's a specimen. He's extremely strong, good striking, good subs. He's fought tough comp, and every time he does, he loses. He fought to Brendan Allen, got crushed by Brendan Allen. That was an easy win for us. That was a lock. And he lost to Marvin Vettori, the psycho himself.
Yes.
The problem is his last two wins were against Kopylov and didn't look particularly good in that fight. And he won a split over shitty-ass Wellington Turman.
Yes.
He had really good wins early in his career, but every time he stepped up, like I believe he fought Glover Teixeira and got subbed out by him. Every time he takes a step up, he loses.
He gets crushed.
This is kind of a lateral step, and they're using him as like a gatekeeper here against Nick.
Right.
I think Nick takes it. I think he subs him out just like Brendan Allen. I think it's very
Same.
similar to that fight.
Absolutely same, and I'm willing to take a shot on the young kid. I think, what is he, 23?
Yeah, he was 22 when he made his Dana White Contender Series debut, so he's either 22 or 23.
Yeah. I'll take a shot on the young kid.
Yeah, and I like him by finish. I think it's going to go exactly like the Brendan Allen fight. And we've seen Maximov catch kicks before and use them to get the takedown. I think that's what happens here, and I think he gets the sub in either round 1 or 2.
Absolutely.
Yep. Next fight is a great one. I always like watching Manon Fiorot fight. She's minus 255 at 9,100 on DraftKings versus Mayra Bueno Silva, plus 205.
The Beast. The Beast, Manon Fiorot.
Yeah. I love Manon here. I think there's tons of value on her at minus 255.
Yep.
And
Same.
we got burned with Whitmire getting armbarred from guard last week. I want to reassure the fans here. Manon is not Emily Whitmire. Manon is, I think she could be a future champ. She really is that good. She's strong as shit. She's not going to follow Silva to the ground because Silva is a nasty submission artist. She caught Jillian Robertson in the sub.
Yep.
And we all know Jillian Robertson has good subs herself. But Manon's going to keep it standing. She's too big. Silva won't be able to take her down. And this is going to end in a knockout.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No question.
Next fight is a hard one, Scotty. Euros Medic versus Jalen Turner. Medic's minus 115, 8,400 on DraftKings. Jalen Turner's minus 105, 7,800. Who do you like in this fight?
Gimme the Serb.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I like Medic on this one.
Yep.
Or it might be Medic.
Yeah, Medic. Another guy off the Contender Series. They're pumping these guys out.
Yep.
But he's looked like a savage in all his fights. His striking is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Good jab, throws head kicks. The thing with his head kicks are just how easy he gets his leg up there.
Yeah.
It just seems like it just doop. It just hits you.
Guys from Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Love the kicks. Love the head kicks.
It is an interesting matchup though. Turner 6'3".
Yeah.
His reach, I've seen it listed two different sizes here, 77 and 75.5. Either way, huge reach advantage.
Yeah.
But
He's also, I don't know, so they're fighting at 155,
yeah,
but he's listed on ESPN at 163.
that's probably his last weigh-in.
Yeah, could be. Could have been fighting catch weight or something.
Yeah, last minute replacement. But Turner, his last few fights, he didn't impress against Brock Weaver and
No.
Kulabau, both horrible opponents.
Yeah. And he
does
lost. He got lost a decision to fucking the steamroller Frivola,
Matt
which is
Frivola.
not a great loss. And
Yeah.
Vincente Luque, he got knocked out. That's not quite as bad,
No.
but Frivola is a tough one to lose to if you want to be in the conversation here for one of the top guys.
Yeah, Turner likes to keep it standing. He does have decent takedowns, and he's big, so he's able to muscle a lot of guys. I don't think he'll be able to do that to the Serb because Uros Medic has been training with Benil Dariush. Yeah, he's been over at King's MMA training with Benil. So I think Medic has this everywhere. I like it, and I like the line minus 115.
Yep.
Good value and DraftKings.
Great value.
This next fight's your girl, Roxanne Modafferi. Plus 290, 6,900 on DraftKings versus Talia Santos, minus 380, 9,300 on DraftKings. And I don't see a path for your girl.
I don't see a path for her either, especially coming off. She just got her meniscus surgically repaired in April.
Yeah. I just... Santos is huge.
Santos is huge, and she's fucking good.
She's really good. 10 years younger.
Yeah. Yeah, Roxy's, 38?
Yeah, and she's 28.
Not on OnlyFans.
Not on OnlyFans. She beat Molly McCann and Jillian Robertson in the last two fights and absolutely dominated them.
I think we're on Molly McCann.
Because Molly... We love betting on Molly McCann.
Yeah.
And she beat the shit out of her.
She beat the absolute bag off her.
Oh, yeah. Was able to... Once she got her on the ground, too, was able to transition them out so easy. Roxy is only able to beat girls these days who she could out-grapple.
Yeah, and she's not going to out-grapple Talia Santos, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Those are like the fights where she wins as a plus 500 dog. She out-grapples and steals a decision win.
Yeah, she beat Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee can't defend a takedown. Right. Antonina Shevchenko can't defend a takedown. And then Macy Barber had that freak injury.
Right.
She wouldn't have won that fight.
Right.
Yeah. So, sorry, Roxy, but I think this might be her last fight in the UFC.
It might have to be.
Yeah.
Because she is 2-3. She's just going back and forth, wins and losses. And the wins she got were huge upsets.
Huge.
Like she could have easily been 0-5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the UFC didn't expect this at all, but good for her. We all love Roxy. She's going to get her ass kicked this week.
Yeah. Yes.
Next fight up has me torn. Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Rakimov.
Abdurakhimov. Plus 160, 7,400 versus Chris Daukaus. So this is a fight that's been rescheduled a few times.
Yeah.
And we had Chris Daukaus as the lock early on. I went back and did the work and put in a study. And Shamil he's a tricky bastard.
So Yeah, I was kind of thinking Shamil as well, but his last fight was what 2 years ago, and he got knocked into another fucking galaxy by Curtis Blaydes.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of wonder where his head's gonna be at when he
Yeah.
comes out, because Chris Daukaus starts out fast.
Really fast.
He's got a lot of quick knockouts,
Oh yeah.
and so I think maybe if Shamil can survive the first round, he's got a shot. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
The only thing that scares me is the win over Walt Harris. I know it was a long time ago, but Walt Harris has almost the exact style of Daukaus.
Yeah, I mean Shamil's fought much harder competition.
Oh, he has wins over Walt Harris, Andre Arlovsky, and
Marcin
Marcin
Tybura,
Tybura. Yeah.
that's a huge win.
Yeah.
That has aged very well.
Yeah, it
And
has.
who the fuck has Daukaus fought?
Nobody. He
Nobody.
fought Olenek, who's 47 years old,
Yeah,
whatever. So that's what scares
Tucker
me.
Porter.
Yeah, that's what scares me. Is Dawkins, like you said, has literally fought no one. He also carries a lot of fat on him. Could probably be a lower weight class.
He could definitely fight at 205.
205. He probably
Maybe
could.
185 if he started jogging. But
Um,
I feel like he is what most light heavyweights walk around at.
yeah. I tell you what, this is a great setup fight for by the UFC. If Dawkins wins this, he's legit. You know what
Yep.
you have. You know
Right.
you didn't pin him against a top 10, but Shamil has beaten top 10 guys.
Right.
It's a great stepping stone for Dawkins to know
That's
what asset you have.
that's exactly what I was thinking. This is a test fight for Daukaus. If he wins this, he's probably going to be in the top 12. I think Shamil is still number 12 in the heavyweight division. I think he's still
Probably
top
he
15.
probably is.
He's fought a lot of killers.
Yeah, and beaten a lot of killers.
Yeah.
He's had an unlucky run with COVID,
Right.
having what 4 fights canceled. I think against Gon Sakai and then Dawkins twice.
Right.
um,
Right.
but this one I'm gonna stay away. I'm not gonna bet it. I was gonna bet Chris Dawkins at -190. I'm staying away from it.
Definitely.
Not no
Too
bet.
spooky. Too spooky.
No bet for me. But I will enjoy watching it, and I hope Chris Dawkins wins. I want that eventual Dawkins versus Aspinall fight so
Yeah.
bad.
I
That-
think the
that-
UFC wants it too.
They do, but they want them to get hyped up first,
Yeah.
like title eliminator Dawkins Aspinall.
Hmm.
So like
For sure.
2-3 fights down the road.
Yep.
Next fight was in jeopardy all week. Dan Hooker -165, 8,700 on DraftKings versus Nasrat Hackerpast at +145, 7,500. Dan Hooker couldn't get a visa. Up until like 3 hours ago, it just was approved. He
Is that because of COVID restrictions?
Yes.
The
'Cause
fucking
he's coming
Soviet
from-
states of New Zealand,
Yeah, exactly. He's-
Soviet Republic.
Yes. But it did get approved. He wrote down and posted his itinerary for like his timeline.
Yep.
Fly over here. He's got to quarantine. He's got to do all this shit. Cut weight, make weight, do all. It's very, very. He's got no in between time.
Right.
No downtime. He's gonna do it. Dan Hooker, we all know he's always fucking down. He doesn't give a shit.
Right.
And he's coming in against Nazareth. This is a striker versus striker fight.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great one.
I love it. Dan Hooker has had a tough go of things as of late.
Yes.
Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker was one of my favorite fights ever.
Yes.
Just unbelievable. Both guys fucking swinging.
Absolute war.
And then he went up against Michael Chandler, Royd Monkey himself, and caught a fucking right hook.
Yep. Sure did.
It knocked him out cold. So he's had a tough go of things, but he still is an amazing striker. He beat Paul Felder and Raging Al. Uses those crazy like elbows and knees. He loves
Yeah.
throwing creative shit. And he's throwing Nasrat, who also is a striker, and who had all this hype coming in. And I don't know if he's ever lived up to that hype.
No. I mean, he does train at a really good gym in TriStar, But yeah, like you said, who's he beaten?
Rafa. Last
Right.
minute, last second Rafa in his last fight, and he almost
Right.
lost that.
Yeah, exactly.
He does have extremely fast strikes. His hand speed is pretty impressive. Um, he also looks exactly like Kevin Gastelum. um, but
That
with
should be a
a
minus.
but with somehow has a even bigger head. I don't know
Yes.
how that's possible,
Yeah.
but he's got the bigger head of the two brickheads
Yes.
going. I think this is an extremely close fight. I think it's one that Hooker gets back on track,
Yeah. I was thinking it's got to be. This is a must-win for him. He can't lose 3-0 or
and I
three in a
think he
row.
knows that. I
Yeah.
think he knows that, and he's ready for that.
Yeah.
He's ready to erase those losses. That's why he's willing to do this crazy schedule to get back in the
Right.
ring.
Right.
Love Dan Hooker.
I like Dan Hooker too. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yep. Next fight is a fun one because they're always fun. Marlon Moraes plus 190, 73 on DraftKings versus Merab Devakishvili minus 235, 8,900 on DraftKings. And I love watching Merab fight.
Yes.
I get tired watching him fight though. It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Listen, there's 3 rules in gambling. 1, you take gray horses at the races. 2, you take fucking Georgians in the UFC. And I got a third one for this year. You take the Jets under every week.
I like it. I like that. Yeah, I like it a
So we got
lot.
rule number 2 in play. Take the
Yeah.
Georgians. They don't get tired. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what's in the water over there.
Right. It
Fucking
is.
Merab goes a million miles an hour for 15 straight minutes.
Yeah, he'll take you down
He'll take you
a
down a
hundred
hundred
times.
times.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, he's in round one,
Yeah.
and guess what? He doesn't care if he doesn't get the first one. He's going
Oh,
for another one.
he's going for 45 more.
Right. Marlon Moraes, he's a little bit over the hill, I think.
Yeah.
He lost to Cejudo, got a split decision over Aldo, which I thought he lost. Um, he took that spinning wheel kick by Corey Sandhagen,
Yeah.
got KO'd, and he got KO'd by Rob Font. Not bad losses. All of them are great competition. But I think he's over the hill, and his chin is starting to fail him a little bit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Merab is just showing that if you take someone down a million times, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
I like Merab.
Same.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Next fight is another easy one for me. Jessica Andrade minus 280, 9,000 versus Cynthia Calvillo plus 225, 7,200 DraftKings. And Jessica Andrade, unfortunately, does have an OnlyFans.
I was just going to say,
And she is not a pretty sight.
no.
If you're
Think
into. I don't even want to say it. But, anyways.
gross nudes. If you're into gross nudes, go give her a
Anyways.
follow on OnlyFans.
Andrade is a beast in the UFC.
Yes.
She is what I describe as a hulking woman. Extremely muscle bound.
And it comes through in the nudes.
She has lost 3 of her last 4 fights, but they were against Weili Zhang, Rose Namajunas, and Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
She has huge power and huge power wrestling. One of the only women I've seen do like a power bomb type slam
Right.
in the UFC. And she's at her best when she chooses to use wrestling along with her strikes.
Yeah.
Calvillo also lost her last fight to Caitlin Chukagian, who I'm still not big on Chukagian.
Yeah. I'm not big on the entire women's flyweight division, except for fucking Valentina.
Yeah, Bullet, except for the Bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's light years ahead of everybody. But I think Andrade wins this. I don't see Calvillo being able to out wrestle or outstrike her. Her only chance is that Andrade gets tired.
Yeah. Or if Andrade knees her while she's on the ground or
Right.
headbutts her.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy win for Andrade here.
Yeah. 100%.
Next one's a fun one to break down. It's Curtis Blaydes minus 320, 9,200 on DraftKings versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck at plus 250, 7,000 on DraftKings. What do you think about this, Scott?
All right. So this is a tricky one, and I'm kind of leaning jairzinho.
I know why you're thinking it, and I can see it.
as
Blaydes,
as a plus 250 dog in heavyweight UFC, where you're just one shot away.
Blaydes likes to get caught.
He certainly likes to get caught. He's certainly shown he's capable of getting caught. He should win. He should absolutely win.
I've said
But
it a million times. Curtis Blaydes has all the tools to be a dominant UFC heavyweight champion, like
yeah,
beating everyone. I'm sure if you line up everybody in the gym versus him, he beats everybody.
right,
He's a in the gym kind of guy.
right.
Has all the skills in the world, even striking. His striking's pretty good.
His
His
striking is
striking's
very good.
good. He's got the output. He doesn't get tired. His wrestling is the best by far. Yet he dove
He
for a takedown and got uppercutted to hell
yeah,
against Derek
right.
Lewis.
It seems like he doesn't have the best fight IQ.
Yeah. However, he's only ever lost to Derek Lewis and Francis, so
Yeah,
we are being a little bit hard on him. But like you said, this matchup, it's tricky because Jairzinho has that power, the same
yeah,
power.
yeah, yeah.
So at minus 320, the value's not there.
Right.
At plus 250, it might be. For me, I'm going to stay away just because, like you said, Blaydes should win.
Yeah. So I ended up taking Rosenstrike on DraftKings just because he was only $7,000 and he's got
Right.
a ton of upside. He could
Oh, yeah.
easily get you a fucking knockout win.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm going to stay away, and I've been saying it a lot recently, and it's been working out really well for us. I'm trying not to bet fighters whose only path to victory is finish.
Right.
And Jairzinho's only path is finish.
Yeah.
It's only by knockout. Only way he could win. And yeah, you will get some great, exciting wins
Right.
gambling.
You're gonna take a lot of losses though.
But you'll take a lot of losses, and this strategy has been working for us. So I'm gonna stick with it and
Yep.
avoid this fight. I like him on DraftKings though, and I think either side is great on DraftKings.
Yeah. Yep.
Next fight, the People's Main. Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. Nick Diaz is minus 110, 7,900 on DraftKings. Versus Robbie Lawler, also minus 110, 8,300 on DraftKings. And it's just great to see Nick Diaz back in the ring.
Yep.
I don't want to
This.
jinx it because it hasn't happened, but I'm excited.
Yep. And I think this fight would have been a lot better 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, if they didn't suspend Nick Diaz for fucking smoking weed for 5 years.
right.
What the hell?
And then meanwhile, weed's legal in like every fucking state
Right.
now.
Great.
They-
And and the UFC continues to try to get Brock Lesnar to fight. He's clean.
right.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's interesting that DraftKings thinks that Robbie Lawler is going to be the favorite here, even though they're both at minus 110 odds. I'm probably not going to bet on this one, but I think this would be a good win and retire spot for Robbie Lawler, as he has not looked good in his last like fucking 15 fights. So if he gets a win here, he's definitely going to retire. If he gets the shit kicked out of him, he should also definitely retire. Moral of the story is Robbie Lawler should not be in the UFC.
I agree with you. However, he just stated win or loss, he is staying in the fight game.
Really?
Unfortunately. I agree with you. Take Robbie Lawler's over the hill and should quit while he's ahead. Neil Magny beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's not the Robbie Lawler we all remember.
No.
And I am going to take a different stance up here, and I'm going to go Nick Diaz, and I'm going to bet him, and I'm going to bet him pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I think Robbie Lawler, his style is extinct. It doesn't work anymore.
Right.
And he never evolved as a fighter. Yeah, it'd be great if he'd power double Nick Diaz to the ground and make him fight off his back the whole fight. He's just not going to do it. He wants to stand and bang. He throws very looping punches, and that plays right into the elite boxing of Nick Diaz. Nick has been away for a long time, but his last two fights were against Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre. The guy laid down on the mat like he's taking a nap against Anderson Silva. Nobody finishes him.
Yep.
He's always in the gym, and he's been away for 5 years, but his brother Nate has kind of excelled in that time, and that's in large part because of Nick. Nick is always in the gym working with him.
Yep.
There's always videos of him boxing, playing with his nunchucks, and running triathlons.
Yep.
And in the pre-fight build-up for this fight, I've actually loved what I've seen from Nick Diaz, which is not what I expected. I expected to see a guy who is in need of money, and that's why he came back. And that was the reason I was going to fade Nick Diaz originally. But what I'm seeing is a guy who's a little bit pissed off that he hadn't been able to fight in 5 years,
Yeah, oh, for sure.
and a guy who's been in the gym training, and a guy who says he's always been a good coach and a good coach to Nate, but now he's into coaching kids in mixed martial arts. And he said for this fight, he's going to try to be more sportsmanlike and go out there and win this for the kids at his gym. And he was saying that, yeah, in his first fight, does he think the taunting against Lawler played a little bit of a role in like spooking him and maybe getting him the win? He said, yeah. He goes, but I would have won that shit anyways.
Right.
So Nick is confident coming in. I love seeing that. And to top it off, this is a 5-round fight. 5-round fight's
Nick
going to
Diaz does not get tired.
No, the Diaz brothers don't lose. What is it? The cliche. They don't lose fight. They run out of time. Everyone always
Right.
says that about the Diaz brothers. It's kind of gay, but we'll bleep that. Sorry. But he doesn't get tired, and it's kind of true. Nobody finishes the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
I like Nick here.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Robbie's done. Robbie Lawler's done.
Yeah. Next fight, it's barely even worth talking about. Valentina Shevchenko, minus 1375,
Yep.
9,500 on DraftKings versus Lauren Murphy, who's plus 800, 6,700 on DraftKings. This fight's not close.
Nope. Not even close.
Valentina by finish, by however she wants, whenever
Right.
she wants.
Right.
Old Lauren Murphy's tough, but toughness isn't going to beat Valentina. She's too
No.
good. And
No.
she's tough too. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not close. It's not worth betting. Look for a first round prop. That's what I'd say.
Yep.
And there's the main event. Alexander Volkanovski, minus 160, 8,600 on DraftKings versus Brian Ortega, plus 140, 7,600 on DraftKings. This is a great matchup. What do you think?
I like Volkanovski. I mean, so Ortega is definitely a live dog in here, but I don't think he's the guy to beat Volkanovski.
I agree. I'm with you. Brian Ortega has shown in his recent fights that maybe his striking has come a long way. He shocked me in beating the Korean Zombie on the feet.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, but you know what? I think Korean Zombie might be over the hill and done. I think that might
Yeah.
have been more of Korean Zombie is done and his style has gone the way of Robbie Lawler
Right.
rather than Ortega is super impressive. The fight before that, he got his ass kicked by Max Holloway.
Who
In one of-
lost 2 straight fights to fucking Volkanovski.
Granted, they were razor thin and could have gone
Yeah.
either way both
Right.
times.
Right.
But yeah, Volk won those fights. And before that, he did KO Frankie Edgar, but Frankie Edgar's a little over the hill too.
Yep.
So, as good as Ortega's looked, he hasn't looked that way against someone in their prime, and Alexander Volkanovski is in his prime.
Yeah.
He used to be, everyone knows he used to be a rugby player, played over at 200 plus pounds. And it shows, he treats guys like that. He's used to fighting like he's a bigger man, so he kind of gets in there and bullies guys. He has
Yeah.
great footwork, darts in and out, good head movement, unbelievable striking. I mean, he stood there with Max Holloway.
Yeah.
And he's got takedowns whenever he wants, especially against Ortega, who doesn't mind fighting off his back. I think that's his only chance is Ortega off his back throwing up subs. I really think that's his best shot.
Yeah. And what do we say about taking guys whose only path to victory is a finish?
We fade that.
Don't do it.
And I'm actually going to place a bet here on Volkanovski. I think there's value in that minus 160.
Yep.
Yeah, and
For sure.
that's the card. I'm excited for it. The picks will be out again. Email list. DM me at NeverHedge to get on this email list. You'll get all my fight notes. Dana White Contender Series is tomorrow. I will have a video out and my fight notes and picks sent to the email list first. I'll only send my picks out to Twitter like right before the fights, so you got to be on the email list to get those in time.
Yep. Were you able to make a DraftKings lineup?
I was.
Terrific. You want me to go first?
Sure.
So I have
Why
it up?
pull it up? Yeah.
All right. So we're going in order from most to least expensive here. And most expensive, I have Manon Fioret, and then Merab Doashvili, and then had to go with Volkanovski, and then took Euros Medic.
Like it.
I did end up taking Nick Maximov here too, at
Yep.
7,000, and then I ran out of money, so I had 7,000 left. Went with the little Jairzinho Rosenstrike, who's got a lot of upside for not a lot of money on DraftKings.
Yeah. And what I noticed here making teams is that I like a lot of favorites this week.
Yeah.
So it is kind of difficult to make teams that you want to make. This is one of the teams I've made so far, and it starts at 9,200 with Curtis Blaydes. I think if he does win, he scores huge.
Yep.
He's going to have tons of takedowns,
Same.
probably a finish.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Tavakashvili because we all know he scores on DraftKings, takedown
Yep.
score. So I got Tavakashvili. I got Euros Medic. I think he finishes Turner. But I also wouldn't mind having a few teams with Turner on them. I think if you switch that, it opens up just a couple things team wise. I have Maximov as well. I think he uses a grappling heavy style and
Yep.
subs out Roberson.
He's going to get a billion takedowns.
Nick Diaz. I think he uses heavy volume. And our boy, which this is a long shot, but Shamil. I got Shamil in there.
I like Shamil. a lot.
Yep, Shamil, and if I wanted to switch that out, I'd switch him out with Rosenstruck. Those are the only other options I like down in that range.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not much down there, to make a team.
Right.
Maybe
That's the problem.
maybe you have to have a sprinkle of Ortega. I don't know. It's hard to make teams this week.
Yeah. It's because there's a lot of huge favorites.
There's a lot of
guys
huge
who are gonna
favorites.
get their fucking asses kicked.
There's a lot of huge favorites, and there's not a lot of dogs I see coming through. Which it'll probably be all dogs this card, but but yeah, it's hard to make DraftKings this week. We'll see.
Yeah, who are you gonna take? Fucking Martin Sano,
Right.
Roxanne Modafferi, 6,900.
Yeah, give me Captain Sano.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll
Like
do
I
it.
said, sign up for the email list, like and subscribe.
Yep.
All right. See ya.